Imagine
A podcast.
where time drifts slowly,
A podcast.
where
Isaac.
carries you away.
So let me be clear. We tortured some folks.
Hey, hi, hello, it's Isaac. You're listening to Coexist Inc. I'm reporting to you from my bed where I am sick as a dog. I might have the norovirus or something strange. I should be on an airplane right now, but I'm not. I'm here, and the show must go on. I feel like such a baby when I get sick. I really am incapable of doing anything. I've just been lying around, feeling bad for myself a little bit. It does make you reflect on things. There is a sort of borderline psychedelic therapeutic component to being sick, I think, when you start to take account of your whole life and what you're doing with it. But I also start to think about what what would it, what would I do if I was sick and I didn't have all this comfort around me? What do you do if you're sick and your city is being bombed? What do you do if you're sick and you have to work every single day, 7 days a week, 10 hours a day just to feed your family? And do you get to take days off? I don't think there are sick days. And I'm such a fucking baby. I'm supremely incapable of even answering phone calls when I'm sick, but what would I do if I didn't have this comfort around me? What would you do if you were being attacked by Israeli drones and you had to move from tent to tent, but you had a stomach flu or some kind of virus and people are getting sick there? The conditions are terrible. The water is poison. How do they do it? I don't know. I don't think I'd be capable of doing it. So I was thinking a lot about Palestine today, which is weird. I don't know if that's weird. Is it weird to think about it while being sick? And just thinking how I would probably just roll over and die. I don't have the strength or willpower that they do, I guess. But I was also thinking about Palestine because of today's episode, which is about robot dogs and how we're seeing them here in America. And they're being pitched to us as these cute little things. Oh, they're just patrolling our parking lots to make sure no one burgles our vehicles. And I'm appalled by it. I'm appalled by the people who talk to them like they're dogs, being like, "Oogie boo goo goo goo, oh good boy, you're a good boy." Don't do that. Don't be polite to Alexa. Don't talk to robot dogs like they're a pet. They are out to get you. They will be used against you in horrible, horrible ways. All the people who tell you they don't care about what happens in the Middle East because it's like, oh, who cares what, two different like brown people or Jews and Arabs fighting each other. I don't care. I hate them. Uh, you should remind them that it will come for them too because it's here. They're here. Boston Dynamics didn't start here. They started in Israel. In 2020, Boston Dynamics, the company that developed the robo-dogs, partnered with Israeli drone manufacturer Percepto to produce aerial drones and robotic dogs, which Israel uses to monitor industrial sites in and around its illegal Jewish-only settlements in the occupied West Bank and the Syrian Golan Heights. So it started there. They perfected it over there. Now they're bringing it here to look at you, to watch you. It's the same thing with Flock. Everyone already hates Flock. It's their PR company's gotta go into overdrive to fix all their mistakes and how just everyone can't stand them. You know that Super Bowl commercial about how they're going to use your camera to find a dog, and everyone got pissed, and so Ring canceled their partnership with Flock. Well, Flock also was perfected in Israel. They use Flock cameras in the Old City in Jerusalem with thermal capabilities, with facial recognition technology, which of course Flock promises not to use here in the United States. Do you believe them? I don't. But it's just a reminder to everybody that these things do not contain themselves. It's not going to stay over there. What do you think they're going to do with this technology once they've cleansed Gaza? They're going to bring it here. They need to use it somehow. They spent a lot of money on it and they perfected it, and it will come for us too. Just a reminder. So to talk about this and other things, I'm joined by James Rehwald, and we talk about the disturbing robo dogs that are taking over our cities. Enjoy the show.
If you are being attacked by quadrupedal autonomous agents, these are the sounds you must recognize. First, if an attack is coming, then you will hear the hum of drones in the sky. They sound like this. Next, their mechanical movements and operating sounds. Although quiet when alone, if a swarm is on the move, they sound like this.
How have they not come for you yet? I remember, are you still working for Nike? Am I allowed to say that?
You can say that. I do not work for Nike anymore. I used to, and let's see. Long story short, I got laid off, but part of me wonders if like my online presence may have contributed to the decision. I can't really know for sure, but I forgot if I told you this story, but I did get like in trouble when, let's see, after October 7th, 2023, I was doing a lot of like pro-Palestine content. And then this like right-wing like Christian Zionist publication did a big like hit piece on me. And like the title, if you look at my name and go to the news articles, I think it's still like in the top, I don't know, the top result, if not one of the top. And it's like James Rehwald, Nike digital marketing specialist, says Israel, not Hamas, is, quote, killing civilians. And this was like December 2023. And yeah, I had to get like called in to basically, like, not HR, but one of the other departments. I guess they had a whole protocol for like if a employee, goes viral or whatever for the wrong reason, they have their old PR for self-preservation reasons. And then they're like, hey, are you all right? And I was like, I didn't even see the article yet. I just saw Facebook or Instagram posts circulating that were like screenshotting the article. It was from what is it called? The Free Beacon. Yeah. And
they wrote about me too.
Yeah, they wrote about you too. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw something. Yeah, man. Did they reach out? Like, because they
reached out to me.
They reached out. I didn't respond, and then they just did the thing anyway.
Well, first it was Fox News reached out to me. I'm going to do a whole episode about this and the Banopticon in the near future. But Fox News reached out to me. I initially like just kind of led him along and blew him off. And it took him like 4 weeks, so he missed the boat, the Marie Gluesenkamp Perez thing. And then the Free Beacon did it, and they're basically just like copying my episode word for word, like doing no legwork on their own, just being like, check out this news. And it was weird. I did get banned from Instagram the same day that the Fox News piece came out. So I was like, that's the thing, is like, I don't know. Maybe I can't say with any certainty that that's the reason why.
Right.
But I do always wonder, because I remember people always threatening to dox you and reach out to your employee, which, I love conservatives doing this when they are just like bitching about COVID protocols or whatever.
We're the ones canceling now. Yeah. It's wild times. Yeah.
So, well, I'm glad. I don't know. We could maybe ask some SEO favors from friends to just publish your name at the top of some bullshit article, so that like the other one gets pushed down. So when you Google your name, is that like one of the first ones that comes up still, or no?
Yeah, if you Google my name and then hit the news tab, I think it's still like pretty high up there. And there's different ranking signals that it looks at. Actually, oh, nice. My top one for me, at least, is the Jewish Telegraphic Agency. So, because I said some mean things about Jessica Tish. But yeah, second
nice.
one's
Be nice. Come on.
play nice. The second one's free beacon for me.
Of course, you're gonna pick on the lady cop.
What? You can't. Come on. The $10 billion heiress can't do what she wants to do.
Yeah, I was just walking through Central Park and I saw the zoo, and it's like the Tish Zoo, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Forgot.
They just own everything.
These fucking people. Well, I'm glad you're still employable.
Yes,
in spite of your
I'll probably
posting.
I'll probably spare my. I didn't update my LinkedIn after I was getting harassed at my last job, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna just not say where I work anymore.
Who cares? Honestly, only freaks use LinkedIn anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about Jessica Tish or LinkedIn. We're here to talk about robot dogs, because you were posting obsessively about it for a little bit. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's talk robot dogs. I want to talk robot dogs. So, James, why do you give a shit about robot dogs all of a sudden?
Yes, it is a, in a world where drones have seemingly stole the limelight, I think the robot dogs deserve some attention too. And I've learned a good amount about robot dogs over the past few days. Piqued my interest after seeing, I think it was on Twitter. You might have seen it, but there was like a viral video going around in Atlanta. This black woman just saying like, yeah, they got robots in the hood now.
Not they got the motherfucking robot dog in the motherfucking hood patrolling the apartment. What the fuck type of AI shit it is? What the fuck? He look like he finna bite your ass.
Hello?
Oh, baby, they what?
How are you?
Where are you at?
I'm good.
This a person on it.
So,
Hi.
Hi.
And it's, everybody's surrounding this like little, admittedly cute kind of robot dog canine on the floor, and they're all filming it. And I hear a voice coming from the robot, and sure enough, it's a Filipino accent, and I'm half Filipino, and I was like, oh my God, of course they got.
Yeah, see, everyone's saying they're Indian.
Yes.
The ignorant mind.
The ignorant mind erroneously applying that it's Indian, which, I can understand, and I enjoy the memes that AI equals actually Indian.
Right.
But yeah, it was Filipino. And I did some more digging, found the company, and this was a Atlanta-based startup that allegedly was founded back in January 2025. They just secured some more seed funding, so like $1 million from investors just a couple months ago, I think February this year. And from what I can understand, their operations are mainly, if not entirely, in the Atlanta metropolitan area. And I was intrigued, especially because, I don't know, when I think of like robot dogs, it's like, either remote operated from somewhere nearby or somewhere within the US, depending on what like the purpose is, or it's like AI, maybe fully autonomous or like partially autonomous. But it was the first time I've seen, it was outsourced to the Philippines. Part of me was like, okay, maybe they're overseas Filipino workers based in the US or elsewhere. But I did some digging on LinkedIn, and like basically all the remote operators are based in Iloilo, which is a city on the island of Panay in the Philippines, which is where my mom's from. And I don't know, I was just intrigued that they had remote operators across the globe controlling little robots in apartment complexes in Atlanta.
Yeah, the miracles of the internet for sure. They must have excellent connection to be able to operate from halfway across the world, so they must be using Starlink or something. They have some Starlink on the dog, because what is the dog connecting to? I wonder. And how safe and solid is that connection? Couldn't it just like go pop? Like,
right.
Because
right.
the internet in America. Have you noticed also just how shitty not just the internet but 5G is right now? Doesn't it seem like measurably worse than it was before, just even a year ago?
The slopaganda era, the slop era is really hitting every
Yeah.
aspect of internet life. It feels
So,
like
so maybe they have like a special Jewish internet that is exclusive.
Jewish lasers. Yeah.
Kosher internet. Have you heard this? I keep interrupting myself, but have you heard about this theory that you should go to the grocery store and only buy kosher food so that you're not eating the goy slop
The
that the Jews are poisoning you with?
That's wild.
Smart stuff.
Smart
brother.
stuff. There's probably some like Jewish kosher, like, I don't know, bakery or restaurant. They're like, why are we getting so many customers now? And why are they all like weirdly anti-Semitic about it?
I just like the idea of some alcoholic Zoomer drinking Manischewitz and just being like, oh, this is disgusting.
Anything to avoid the goy slop.
Anything to avoid the goy slop.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so back to the thing. So what's the big deal then? I think why is it bizarre, strange,
Yeah.
problematic that we have these dogs that are, I think, marketed as autonomous, but are actually being operated halfway across the world?
Right. Yeah, there's a few things I think are, I don't know, interesting but disturbing. But I guess to kind of put it in context, like, robot dogs aren't new. I think everybody knows about Boston Dynamics. They, along with other companies, signed that like pledge, I think in like 2021 or 2022, saying they wouldn't weaponize their robot dogs.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine then.
Which is, makes it fine. They still partner with the government, first responders, military. They just don't strap a rifle to it. But then what I found out is that, Ghost Robotics has sort of filled that void and become the proud, we will strap a gun to our robot. So they have their niche. They've, worked with all sorts of militaries and stuff. And then you got like some smaller companies, including this one, Unfounded, which, like you said, it was interesting that it, kind of a symptom of this larger issue of like promoting things as fully autonomous and AI powered. And then it just turns out it's, some Kenyans in a warehouse that are running your like love bot. So similar story here. And it's disturbing for, a couple of reasons. Like one, you have like, poor, working class Black neighborhoods in Atlanta being policed through this outsourced third party company. And then B, it's also, this sort of neoliberal imperialist world system where you got exploited workers in the global South. I was digging into the company a bit and I found December 2024, I guess before the company was technically founded, they had remote operators based in Colombia. So I guess at some point they must have switched mostly, if not entirely, to the Philippines. And this is, the Philippines because of American colonial history, English language apprehension is pretty widespread. It's integrated with the education system. It's just like India, where a lot of these places become hubs for call centers and that sort of thing, where they can pay people less than a third of the South, what they'd make here in the U.S. or elsewhere in the global North. It really does feel like it's just like pitting Filipino urban workers against, Atlanta residents. And like, part of me too also is like, I found myself almost falling for the trap of like, I guess it's better than like a human security guard, because the human security guard could like hurt somebody, but like these robot dogs seem like they're not armed or anything. But then I'm like, okay, hold on, that's what they told us about aerial drones. So like, they're just doing surveillance, UAV, and then they,
precision.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden Obama's firing Hellfire missiles in like 7 different countries. So we've seen this pattern time and time again, and it's disturbing, especially to see my own people get lumped into this, even if it's kind of weirdly dehumanizing too, because I've watch all these videos that they've posted, and like the way the CEO talks, they're like, our dogs, like the way they, like the kind of stereotypical corporate culture, like our team, our family, but instead it's like now Filipinos are just dogs. And the way it's marketed and the way it's reported on the news, a lot of it talks about AI, and they say it's AI powered. I'm like, it's not AI, it's Filipinos. And there's even a video where there's somebody talking to the dog and asking like, are you guys AI? He's like, no, we're behind a desk. I think the only AI really involved is like that it powers the like camera technology, has like thermal
Sure.
and like things like that. But yeah, I mean, just again, like that sort of concealed labor of what goes into this system, and then the fact that it's basically a landlord protection unit type of thing.
Mhm.
So yeah, a lot of disturbing things coalescing in this latest capitalist dystopic event.
I am a little disturbed by it this go around because this isn't the first time they've released these dogs. I mean, Boston Dynamics has been around for more than a decade, I believe. And they've done some pretty good viral campaigns of the dogs dancing. Uh, and in 2021, New York City actually leased a dog from Boston Dynamics, I think for $95,000 for a year initially. It was under de Blasio, although it was the police that did it. And
Yeah,
it was quickly canceled. It was called DigiDog.
that's
Okay.
right.
Yes. And I think also Boston Dynamics named their dog Spot, which
Spot.
also
That's like
yeah,
their main one.
yeah, and we'll talk about this sort of caninoid simulacra that they're trying to pull on us in a minute, but it was quickly canceled because the people of New York City were like, "Fuck this," because it is creepy. Even though like the way they walk, there is like you got that uncanny valleyness of this quote unquote dog, and so it was also patrolling public housing, of course. Using this to instead they should send these dogs out to look for cocaine overdoses in like Chelsea. How about that? How about that? Uh, but it was quickly canceled and widely celebrated because everyone's like, we don't like this. But then Mayor Adams brought it back in 2023. And there's actually a very good video everyone should watch of one of the Boston Dynamic dogs like walking in front of Mayor Adams. And he's just standing there with his fingers like Monty Burns, but like inverted.
Both of the police and the public is DigiDog. The robot will be remotely controlled only by trained TARU technical assistants and response unit officers and be deployed to assist ESU, our emergency service unit, in hostage negotiations, counterterrorism incidents, and other.
And he's just like staring at this thing. It's just such a
It's
bizarre
like, what have I
interaction.
done? Was that before or after new NYPD rolled out the big like 400-pound?
That was around the same time, yes.
Right.
Which I've never seen, by the way, because I think that New Yorkers would just beat the fuck out of that
Yeah.
thing, as they should.
Those videos were fun to see, people fucking with them.
But this time, this is what kind of spooks me about these latest viral videos of people interacting with these animals, is it's kind of making them funny and cute.
Yes.
And there are some videos in Atlanta of these apartment complexes that have hired these companies, this dog, to patrol their parking lots because people were just like going into these fenced in lots in these apartment complexes and just like robbing every single vehicle, or burglarizing every single car in the lot. And so now they're just like celebrating. They're like, hell yeah, this dog can go harass these people. I guess the extent of what it does is it just like finds the person
Right.
and just starts blasting noise at them. You're like,
It has a siren, and I imagine I was curious too, like what the contract setup is per a client. Like I'm sure it's like okay, we can we have a protocol where we'll alert the property manager, but
Yeah.
then we'll heighten it to some degree where at a certain point we'll call 911. They have relations with the city and the police, so basically what you said, they'll harass potential trespassers. It's a weird development, not terribly new, but definitely the fact that they are trying to sugarcoat it with the Filipino hospitality. It's admittedly, I was like playing the videos earlier for my girlfriend and my sister, and we're all just watching, and we were kind of entertained. It was just you never really see a Filipino robo dog, and just the clashing of cultures too, with like the thick Georgian accent and then the Filipino accent coming from the dog. It really feels like a sketch. And yeah, sure enough, I I do worry for what's coming in the future.
Yeah, I'm very appalled by the cuteness of it. Before we get into
Yeah.
cuteness, I wanted to talk a little bit about what is it doing to these communities in the Philippines? And obviously, the Philippines being outsourced for these kinds of call center things is nothing new. I had a friend who was a big OnlyFans model, and she outsourced her sexting to this Filipino company, which was
Yes.
yeah.
I read
So
the
it's
reports about that. Yeah.
yeah, so it's very common. And we're seeing this done with Waymo as well. I believe Waymo is
Yep.
outsourced to the Philippines. So
Yep.
we're just seeing this continual mechanical turking of all of these technologies. But what are the consequences in the Philippines of having this kind of work?
Yeah, it's you know, it's a symptom of the Philippines being reduced to a semi-colony of foreign capital, namely American. It's part of this whole AI boom where now you got all sorts of services, all sorts of offices and warehouses opening in the Philippines, whether it's like content moderation, like you said, or content planning. I remember reading a report back in like the early Facebook days. Their content moderators, the people who basically look at just the horrible corners of the internet, everything from like an ISIS beheading video to like child pornography to
Yeah.
like anything that needs to be removed. And I mean, it's horrifying for these workers. They get, I mean, literally like psychological, damage, PTSD, whatever you have. Um, and I mean, that's literally their job, like full time, like looking at things flagged, and they're paid very little and overworked. So it's very exploitative conditions. And this was, early on in the Facebook days. And before that, you had call centers, which is still a very active thing. The fact that English language is a lot more spoken, especially in the cities like Manila, creates these I don't want to say opportunities, but yeah, employers will move into that space. And yeah, Waymo, as I forget what was it was like an executive or somebody at the company, they admitted like, yeah, like it's autonomous, but there will be human intervention in certain instances if a car gets stuck or something like that. And they admitted for the first time, yeah, we have operators in the Philippines who will take the car over. Similar situation, Japan. There's, the fun cafes where I know you've maybe seen like a robot server. It's Filipinos in the Philippines controlling them in some of these cases. And yeah, I mean, the effects are just that Filipinos they don't really have job security, and they're very desperate to find jobs in the first place. Um, 10,000 Filipinos on average leave the Philippines every day because there is no jobs. I mean, it's like literally every day, another 10,000.
Wow.
And most of them go to places like the US, Gulf
Dubai.
states. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dubai.
Lots in Dubai.
Lots in Dubai. The UAE, Saudi Arabia, Gulf states, Japan, Hong Kong. If you look up like overseas Filipino workers, yeah, you'll see concentrations in the Gulf region, Israel, which I hate too, because Israel loves to like use their deaths as like uh like they were killed in the noble fight against Hamas, and
Yeah.
you just see that shit, and then I could talk forever about this stuff, but yeah, it's a desperate, job that people have to pick as a last option. And it also kind of reveals how everything, all the innovation touted, all the Sam Altmans of the world who talk about AI, just like everything else, for everything from the raw materials, the labor, comes from the global south, and the Philippines is part of that.
I think that the Philippines also offers Filipinos are, I gotta say, some of the nicest people I ever meet. Like, I think the Filipinos are always just I don't know. I've always had very pleasant experiences every time I've hung out with a Filipino. And I also think they don't have at least not yet, the kind of cultural racism towards Southeast Asians like Indians and Pakistanis. And so I think it's almost like a boon for them. I think if it was like an Indian operator, which a lot of the conservatives are trying to make it seem like it is,
Yeah.
I think that it would be bad PR for them. But because it's Filipinos, it makes it gentler and more fun somehow.
Right. Yeah.
Which and so this is what really concerns me, and I think it's also completely by design. First of all, that they're trying to make a dog man's best friend, and I've seen the way people talk to these things. They're like, "Oh, good boy." It's like they're talking to like a literal fucking dog, which I find to be so bizarre.
Bro, this is security right now. Hi, oh, it's waving.
I find it's the same thing when people are polite to their Alexas.
Yes.
That shit pisses me off. Why are you saying please and thank you to your Alexa? I saw some story that by being polite, you're making it use more computational power, but I think that was a fucking bullshit. I don't think that's true at all.
I agree. It's very disturbing and very much by design. Like, I'd imagine these executives, the CEO, knew exactly what they're doing, having Filipinos be the face of private property security. And I mean, yeah, it really does harken back to like the little brown brother sort of colonial attitude. You know, the U.S. colonized the Philippines for decades after what you could probably call a genocide, killing like a seventh of the population. William Taft sort of coined the term little brown brother, and it did kind of carry that sort of, you know, we're going to civilize these people and like make them, you know, self-govern and that sort of thing. And I think you kind of see that permeate into the wider context of America with like the model minority and that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely very
you're brown,
insidious.
But you're not too brown.
Yeah, you're brown, but not too brown. Yeah, because like the racism against like South Asians, like Indians and Pakistanis, like it's a very open. I mean, especially in the UK, but like it definitely created an avenue for Filipinos. I mean, it's really the history of Filipino exploited labor. I mean, even like the Chinese Exclusion Act, Filipinos were the ones that are like, hey, we have like a special status, so we'll work the farms and the fields, and it's kind of a repeat of that, but with the modern dystopic AI version.
And the friendliness of these robots, they're trying to pitch very hard. I mean, they've got them programmed to do their little waves.
The wave.
Yeah. That pisses me off a lot.
The wave. They love the wave. It's so, it's God, they really cutified it with precision.
And everyone just goes, "Aw, are you serious? You should be terrified when you watch like a death robot wave at you. That's scary shit, dude.
For real. I mean, really, it's that Black Mirror episode with the Robo Dog.
I haven't even seen that one yet.
Oh, really? There's a Black Mirror episode that really, I think it does a pretty good job encapsulating where the robot dog thing could go. It's like in almost like a post-apocalyptic setting, and like the characters are all nervous, trying not to wake up this dog, I believe, and then eventually it like rises from its slumber seemingly from a past era where they reign supreme, and like chases their car like at full speed, and you know, there's just carnage. That's the direction we could go with this, and it's going to start with them being eased into our apartment complexes with a Filipino operator.
And the dogness, I think, is also by design, because it obviously most cultures. I don't know if they'll release these robo dogs in Muslim countries, considering how they feel about dogs. But in America, oh my God, we love our dogs, unless you're Christy Gnome. But I think that's also by design, because they probably could have done. I've watched these dogs operate, and I'm not too impressed by their mobility. I'm like, I could outrun that thing.
Right.
It's not that fast.
And like, could I throw a blanket on it, spray paint it? Like,
it doesn't move to like its lateral movements are really bad.
Yeah, I will say I was impressed to watch the videos of it going up and down stairs. I'm like, okay, I can kind of do that a little fast, but I feel like at least with this,
it can outrun most Americans. I'll put it that way.
which isn't saying a lot, but yeah.
If you're a professional criminal, you should be able to outrun this thing, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But the dogness of it is also absolutely by design, because they could have picked something with like more legs, but that might look more like an insect and therefore lose like the cuteness factor that I think that they're really dependent on to make us slowly okay with this thing, because it's everywhere now. I mean, these are throughout a lot of cities. I mean, tons of companies have copied Boston Dynamics, and they're being sued too for patent violation or whatever.
Right.
But they're ubiquitous now. I mean, they figured out how to manufacture them quickly. They're all sharing the same software now. So I expect to start seeing these things in your neighborhood, and they are slow rolling it so that you get used to it, get comfortable with it. And I think that little wave, that little gentle wave, is part of a larger project that they've been experimenting with robots for quite some time, which is basically a kind of weaponized empathy. They're using one of our greatest qualities against us. We do feel bad for robots, and I think that's a good thing in a certain way. I think that it is beautiful that human beings can extend this sympathy, this empathy, this love and understanding for other things, even inanimate things. Like if I see like someone like fuck up a beautiful rock, like a beautiful stone, I'm just like, what's your problem, man? Like
Right.
that thing was just minding its own business. Why are you fucking with this cool looking rock? Even though it's not moving. But they have been doing these studies, and Yale and Cornell assigned these participants to hang out, 3 people to hang out with one humanoid robot, and had them play a collaborative game on Android tablets. In some groups, the robots were programmed to act quote unquote vulnerable. These machines performed actions such as apologizing for making mistakes, admitting to self doubt, telling jokes, sharing personal stories about their life, whatever that means, and talking about how they were feeling. In control groups, the human participants teamed up with robots, made only of neutral statements, and remained entirely silent. But the researchers monitored how group members communicated differed depending on which type of robot was on each team. They found that people working with robots that showed vulnerability spent more time talking with their fellow humans than did those in the control groups. Subjects with vulnerable robots also divided their conversation more equally between each human member of each team. I don't like this study. I think it's like actually going to lean a particular direction. But what it does evidence is that we are susceptible to quote unquote robot vulnerability. And I think that having a little dog do a little sit and do a little wave is precisely the same thing as a humanoid robot being like, whoops, my bad, guys, I suck.
It's true, and it makes sense. They definitely think about these things scientifically, like, quadrupeds are the way. And I mean, it's just like how the AI chatbots, they've experimented with having them really butter you up and just kind of glaze you, and it improves engagement and perception of the service. Yeah, I'm one thing that was interesting too with this particular company, which has voiced plans to expand outside of Atlanta. They when they just got their they secured investment from, like you said, these real estate companies and land developers. They also got what is it, Flock. Flock's going to be investing in them. Yep, which their data is used by DHS, and it's just not very secure. It's like people everywhere, like hackers, have used them, but DHS has used that to track migrants' movements. They also got Jamestown is investing in them, which is, I believe, like I forget if they're like an asset management company or a they have like land holdings, but their CEO, he's like a Zionist. He's like on the board of like the Jewish North American Federation, or the Jewish Federation North America. So yeah, you got basically landlords and people with specific interests invested in this thing, and I think it is kind of dystopic to think that these robots that are 3D mapping these apartment complexes and businesses will be fed into the surveillance state, and they can find out if a tenant is undocumented or that sort of thing. And what's also interesting too, because I was going through their website, they they seem to be mostly in apartment complexes, but they also do like construction sites,
stadiums, warehouses, and we'll talk about warehouse fires and what I think this might portend.
Warehouses. There's a film and TV industry in Atlanta, so they tout that, like production houses and that sort of thing. And of course, it's bigger than just this company, Undaunted. Robo dogs have been deployed in all sorts of situations: fossil fuel sites, military bases, AI data centers, which is particularly interesting. We got AI like guarding itself almost. So yeah, it's a lot going on, and it's not going to stop. And on the global stage too, the U.S., they're going to be trying to compete with China, which has like this technology as well, and by some measures is probably ahead of the U.S. Certainly in drones, is probably robot dogs as well. So I don't imagine the U.S. slowing anytime soon.
No, it is going to become ubiquitous, and there are some encouraging signs, though, that, and I think we all know this intuitively and in our hearts, that the material world, the flesh and blood world, cannot be replaced so easily by metal and machines. It is interesting to think of them displacing dog labor, because it is just like, why not just have dogs, like real like guard dogs? I mean, I think those are pretty good, pretty effective. We've been using them for like 10,000 years.
That's going to be like a Pixar movie, like the dog getting replaced by the robot dog, but they actually like team up and some like weird.
Oh, I hope they don't team up. That pissed me off. What we need is like the John Henry of dogs, I guess. And what we have them in would actually be guide dogs. There's actually this article in Popular Science about how robots cannot replace guide dogs, largely because these guide dogs, these dogs that we like love, like they're one of us, has qualitative measurements that these quantitative Silicon Valley freaks can't possibly understand. One, of course, being that service dogs like make their own decisions in a lot of ways. I mean, like there's a partnership happening here. It's not so subservient as a robot, and so it can make like real world decisions. And I was thinking about this, especially with all the problems you have with this AI robot awareness technology, where some Tesla will fucking kill its driver full speed because it like the light shone on, like it was shining on like a semi truck in a particular way that it just couldn't compute it. It can't piece together things that it hasn't already experienced. And so I think about with a guide dog, where like guide dogs are gonna like not walk you off a cliff, right? Just because the light shines on it in a particular way.
Right. I would rather have a normal dog be the arbiter of death than this robot dog.
Yes. And also the relationships that these people develop with their guide dogs is it's a beautiful partnership.
Yeah.
And the guide dog, it will choose to go and cuddle, like lay on top of the person that it's guiding. I don't think a Boston Dynamics spot is going to do that. Nor would you want it to. Can you imagine like cuddling with a Boston Dynamics?
Just kill me now.
Dog?
Just kill me now. Yeah, it honestly could go that way though. I mean, I could see like just the labor costs that go into training a dog, even though it's like there's a lot more of an authentic companionship there. Yeah, I could see that they might start testing that.
$50,000 to train one of those dogs, but those Boston Dynamic dogs are really expensive. And I mean, I guess one of the things people are saying, well, you don't have to. Dogs are inferior because they poop and they shed and they smell, and you have to feed them. It's just like, Jesus Christ.
The robo dogs, you just need to charge them, oil changes, technician visits. It's a different thing.
Make sure the battery doesn't get punctured and burn down the whole house.
Right.
One of those
melted granny. I'm thinking about like how care homes and like nursing homes, like how a lot of Filipinos work them, and then they're going to be replaced with robot Filipinos. We might get
Yes.
might.
I will say, as a big man, I'm a big guy. I'm like 6'3", 215. I've never had a girlfriend who could possibly lift me, especially when I get older. Even any human being, I would feel bad for them when I get old and I'm probably gonna get fatter. Who is gonna lift me out of my soiled bed? I mean, I'm hoping it never gets to that point, and I'm hoping to, not wink, wink, nod, nod, martyr die for a good cause prior to getting to that point. But I would need a robot to lift me up, right?
You might need Spot.
I might need. Well, I would rather do some other kind of, not even a humanoid. I don't want to do a humanoid. I'd rather it be like, why can't they think of a new design? Why does everything have to be borrowed from science fiction? Even like the humanoids they're putting out now look just like that iRobot movie. Like, can they fucking think of anything else? They have zero creative bones in their bodies.
They really they've been trying to cutify. I mean, obviously this with employing exploited Filipino workers. Before that, it feels like the Eric Adam or the NYPD, like the roundness. It was kind of like that Big Hero 6 sort of like fluffy robotic kind of aesthetic. But yeah, I'm scared if and when they perfect that more normalized
Fuck
design.
you, Wall-E, is what I'm trying to say. Wall-E was a psyop the whole time to cutify these things.
DARPA was funding the Wall-E project from the get.
Probably. But yeah, I think about this like also like the replacement of labor. I mean, the humanoid thing makes zero sense when you are replacing all human labor, because it's just like, well, who's going to use the robots,
right?
If there's no one there to help. that like they ignore the like annihilatory logic of the future that they want so badly. But I was also thinking about the replacement of dogs. And how, again, people are pitching these robot dogs as though they're superior. Again, because they don't have like the biological qualities of an animal. And I was thinking about just also the replacement of working dogs, which are my favorite kind of dog. And just like all dogs, the only remaining dogs, like biological flesh and blood dogs that remain, are those shitty, inbred, trembling little toy dogs. And they keep becoming smaller and smaller and more deformed. And that's like it. That's all that's left of dogs on Earth, because we've replaced them with these fucking metal pieces of shit.
We might get to that point. They're trying to. They're certainly trying.
I do want to connect this to those warehouse fires that are happening. I saw someone saying we're up to 24 warehouse fires now.
Yeah. There's a lot of warehouse. So like, the Ontario, California warehouse fire, which it's interesting because part of me is like, okay, maybe like the media is extra focused on warehouse fires, which are already like pretty frequent,
happening all the time.
The
shit country.
Yeah, just a different type of capitalist rot. But it is interesting because we seem to be seeing an uptick in like intentional, from a worker disgruntled for XYZ reason. And that Ontario one was interesting. I mean, like there's that they asked him like what was like the motivation, and he kind of rambled about like I'm working fucking 6 days a week, 8-9 hours or whatever. There's pedophiles fucking hit children and like launching wars for profit, all that sort of thing. So there is like some class consciousness here, and
better than Luigi's, honestly. Luigi's class consciousness fucking sucks.
The incoherent.
He wrote a letter to Patrick Bet-David.
Was that the same as like the one where he thanks the feds at the beginning? Like
this is the latest one. Patrick Bet-David reported that Luigi sent him a private letter
from prison.
Yes.
What?
Another one. It's just like, God damn, Luigi's such a fucking moron.
It's just like politically incoherent. Like I really, if it isn't clear that there's a potential sort of psyop element to it, like I don't know what else, but yeah, this one a bit more concrete. And it also like comes at a time where you had Sam Altman's house get Molotoved, and then another person fire a gun at his house, and then I think was it a couple days ago there was someone Molotoved a Tesla building in New Orleans, and then I think also
there's a Raytheon fire that just happened
And
as
then
well.
the
I
Ra-
think it was in Georgia. The
Yes.
Georgia Raytheon fire. That one.
Yes.
That's stop fucking up Sam's where there's like food and stuff for people.
Right.
I don't. There are better targets, and I think.
Yeah.
You know,
I think like, you know, with the
not that we're encouraging that. We're shaking our heads.
Not that we're encouraging that.
Yeah, we're nodding our heads, showing our disapproval right now.
My FBI agent listening to this. Yeah, I like with the the return on you know, investment, so to speak, for a warehouse fire. If there's a place, it's the defense industry for sure.
Data centers,
data center,
industry.
Yeah.
If you
had to, gun to your head.
Yeah, if you had to pick one.
Yeah.
You know, but don't do it. Don't
do it.
Please.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how far this will go, and it does kind of, you know, to loop back into the RoboDog. I mean, it's providing some fertile ground for landing some sweet security contracts for drone and RoboDog and surveillance companies. So
I'm already preparing to get bummed out though when someone exposes that these warehouse fires are like false flags. I'm already ready to be like, they're doing it because this is the last gasp of being able to get insurance. It'll allow them to declare these like market state of emergencies. All these things are yours. I mean, I know he burned toilet paper, and Americans fucking love toilet paper during a crisis. They freak out about that shit. So it's like, oh, well, sorry, guys, we're out of toilet paper. You guys have to like fucking kill each other now, I guess. The toilet paper civil war of 2027.
It's 2020 flashbacks.
Yeah.
It's so true. It feels absurd, like we really are in like a time where like you kind of have to like doubt any sort of potential revolutionary action as like a psyop. Like it's all part of that controlled opposition, but then on the other side, you don't want to dismiss like genuine grievances and genuine acts as just like, oh, it's just a psyop, and then it turns out it's not, and then you're like, oh, well, that was actually pretty tight. So it feels crazy sometimes.
Yeah, I always just want to say local politics is going to be the least psyoped. So just pay attention to what you can do locally. Although I'm working on a story right now about the Jan 6 guy who stole the lectern, and he's running for office here. And it turns out that his whole thing is a psyop. Even on this local level, we have a lot of money here with developers, and so they're molding this guy in this particular way. So it's done on every single fucking level. It's just that at least you can go knock on doors here personally.
Right.
Whereas, when you see anything on the internet like being shoved in front of your face, you should immediately be like, why am I seeing this? And it's not, because it's never organic. Maybe a few things can slip through here and there, but there's a reason why things are seen.
I used to be like, you know, there's times I'm like, it's probably just liberalism and conservatism. But then after seeing like, I don't know, the Epstein files and the level of involvement with like Maxwell and Epstein with like, was it Reddit and what was the other platform that they're kind of like 4chan, like how much of that movement was astroturfed. I'm like, god damn, they really think these things out and do it by design.
Do you ever question your own virality then? Because you've had some bangers that have gone all over the place. Are you like, are they showing this to make a list of everyone who likes my thing?
I've had that accusation that like, this guy's CIA, like this guy, they're creating lists off this guy. I'm like, God, I hope not. Or like they're just doing a strategy of tension, and I'm a pawn that's unknowingly being utilized. Who knows? But you know, it's interesting. Yeah.
But I wonder to what degree these dogs are going to then it'll be a perfect opportunity for them to be like, well, we're going to put these dogs in all these warehouses now, and we're going to attach guns to them just to make sure, because of this arson meme thing going on.
And I've been reading about the RoboDogs deployed at these AI data centers. They've been trained to like be able to detect very accurately any thermal abnormalities. You know, if a server is overheating, they've basically integrated. I was just reading like very recently, like this past week, they integrated it with Google Gemini, that like their main AI service, and it's able to like read gauges, like pressure gauges. It's starting to be able to do a lot more tasks than just like looking for trespassers and that sort of thing. Like it's really able to like do the jobs that are the few jobs that are required at a, say, AI data center. And with these fires, I mean, yeah, it's gonna provide any extra bullet point in a pitch to say, hey, we can help with that.
Yeah, but can it love?
Yes,
they're figuring that out too.
What's that Will Smith, the iRobot quote? Can it make art?
Can you make? Okay, can you write a symphony?
Yeah, can you write a symphony?
He's like, no. Can you?
Can you? It's gonna be that all over again.
Oh my god, that movie was so bad. Well, James, thank you so much for talking about our cute dystopia. Of course, everyone can find you. What's at your ats? What are they at?
Yeah. If you got money, feel free to support me on Patreon. You can look me up just on Google, honestly, and you can find all my James Rehwald.
Make sure to click on the free beacon, the Washington free beacon, so that was SEO helps.
Yeah, comment on that article. But yeah, I'm on most platforms. You can find me on TikTok. I think it's
Still there.
Yeah, still there.
They haven't booted you from that yet.
They've like, I feel like they're throttling my shit because I'll post something. I don't know. Ever since the Larry Ellison takeover, I feel like I've had to be a little more self-censoring, putting some Jeffrey Epstein-esque black rectangles over all sorts of text. But yeah, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, YouTube. But yeah, look me up, you'll find me.
All right, brother. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Isaac.
So now I'm alone. Now I can think for myself about little deals and issues, things that I just don't understand. Like a white lighter.